welcome to Citation Needed, the podcast where we choose a subject, read a single article about it on Wikipedia, and pretend we're experts, because this is the internet, and that's how it works now. I'm Eli Bosnick, and I'll be calling the board this evening, but I'll need the cues to my blues. First up, the bars and tones to my 10 count, Noah and Heath.
All right. If anything, I'm the tone. Heath is obviously the bars.
All right, I'm going with the bars. But just in general, waking up on the couch to that long beep and the color bars, that made our generation what it is. It was terrifying. Middle of the night, and it's just
Yes. Yeah.
You gotta go upstairs.
And of course, there's a man who always knows you're talking to him when you say cue talent, Cecil, something Italian.
Yeah, I know it's my time to hold the cue card straight at that point.
Yeah, right.
Before we begin tonight, I'd like to take a moment to thank our patrons. Patrons, without your money, we'd be lost and adrift among the podcast signal, but your dollars guide us back like a lighthouse in the storm. And if you'd like to learn how to join their ranks, be sure to stick around till the end of the show. And with that out of the way, tell us, Noah, what person, place, thing, concept, phenomenon, or event will we be talking about today?
We're finally going to get some fucking use out of concept. We've said that the whole time. I don't think we've ever done a concept before.
It's like four of them. Yeah.
You know, it's television broadcast signal intrusions.
Ooh. And Cecil, you read the rundown. You ready to take us to the airwaves?
I'm ready to wiggle this antenna till it finds the right spot, Eli.
Ooh. You tease. So tell us, Cecil, what are television broadcast signal intrusions?
Love those rabbit ears, right?
Broadcast signal intrusions are rare, quick moments when someone manages to hack a television or radio broadcast, breaking through the airwaves with a message that was never meant to be there. Most last only a few minutes, some only a few seconds, but they genuinely freak the fuck out of anyone watching. In fact, I was witness to one of these intrusions, pinning that for later. Yes, pinning that for later. 1980s and 70s, a handful of incidents stood out. In fact, these are the three that I found on Wikipedia, so I'm actually going to use those.
So the dick on a Zoom call before it was cool.
Yeah.
I keep trying to tell you, Eli, it's still not cool, okay?
It's pretty cool.
I'd prefer if you were a cat man.
Or your dick was a cat man, maybe?
Yeah.
Cat was
It does say,
what?
meow.
It's not supposed to say that. You should
Very
see a doctor.
sick.
So, Grandpa Cecil, what was traditional broadcast television, you may ask? Well, back before streaming, we had a bunch of airwave channels. Our script.
He deleted my part where I say that.
Back before streaming, we had a bunch of airwave channels.
A bunch. Speak for yourself, city boy. We had 2.5.
They would broadcast these channels via satellite to either your cable company or your local station, and then you would tune in using a cable box or just the antenna on the back of your television. There were the common stations that showed programs across the nation transmitted through local broadcasters. These were ABC, NBC, CBS. Later, more stations joined the lineup, and you could also tune in your local PBS channels. So if someone cuts into the broadcast back then, there would be no resetting the signal or reloading the app. You just have to be subjected to some weird shit for a few minutes until someone at the networks took back the signal from the intruder.
Oh, man. And that was the dream, right? The signal hacking fantasy. You get to give your big speech.
Mm-hmm.
So cool.
That might just be you, big dog.
What? No. Say some of us became podcasters. I get it.
Okay. I did the John Galt thing. I used to like that book.
That's who I think of when I think of good big speeches.
Right. There was one other way for people to get a TV signal. They could own their own satellite dish. See, back then there was cable, and then you could pay extra to your cable company for premium channels like HBO or Showtime.
Hey, Cecil, that's still the case. How far in the future are you casting this line?
Hold on. You interrupted me before I say, but a group of mostly engineers started sharing how to create and maintain these satellite dishes. And then you could get a lot of these channels, even the ones the cable companies made you pay for free. This wasn't anything illegal like fake chips in a DirecTV box. These were just regular people with enough ingenuity to grab signals from the air and not pay the man.
Okay, that one friend's dad who had the dish in everybody's town. I don't know if you guys had. I had one of these, and he was so fucking proud of his top secret dish. It was like a spy thing, and you had to do this whole thing, sign an NDA to go see his fucking. Come on.
So back then, if you had like the full size dish though, pre DirecTV, you had to like point it at the correct satellites. Like we didn't have none of this geosynchronous shit you guys have today, right? Like we had these little black market charts where you would have to adjust the azimuth and the elevation angles. Like literally had to have a fucking compass. We worked for our free porn back then. Damn it.
Well, in the mid 1980s, the companies that were transmitting these premium stations, they decided to start scrambling these signals. The satellite owners could then buy more descrambling equipment and also start paying a monthly fee for stations like HBO, or they could slam their face right up against the tube TV and hope to look through the matrix long enough to catch a nipple on occasion.
I got a couple.
Yeah. There's like that 1 second where everything's upside down, but you're like, that's a real picture. And then it disappears.
It is.
Yeah. It's like
PBS has porn.
I haven't felt that good since.
3, 2, 1 contact.
Right? Really think about how hopeful you were when the on and the boobs, and now think about now. It's not even close.
Not close.
Hey, guys, I'm violently suicidal. Give me 1 second.
Often these fees for the satellite owners were more than the cable company charged for the same service, even with these satellite owners actually owning all the equipment to get the channel in the first place. To give you an idea of these prices, HBO was charging satellite dish owners $12.95 a month in 1986, which is about $37 per month in today's dollars. Those people also had to fork over $395 for a scrambler, which comes to about $1,150 today.
Yeah, but the money my parents would have saved on glasses if I hadn't been trying to squint watch Red's Shoe Diaries for my entire teen years, well worth it, my friends. Well worth it.
But the audio wasn't scrambled. It felt like an upcharge for having a bad imagination.
Okay.
One reseller of satellite dishes found that this pretty much killed his business. People bought these things to get around monthly fees, not pay more for the privilege of having monthly fees. So this man, John McDougall, decided to write some protest letters to legislators and spent some of his own money trying to raise awareness for this cause. This didn't change anything, though, and he was forced to cut costs on his own business and then eventually get a part-time job at Central Florida Teleport Uplink Station, which uplinks services to satellites.
These new measures are making stuff harder to steal. Who do I write to about that? Is it a senator? Do I have a senator?
On April 26, 1986, his coworker left for the night. His job was to uplink the movie Pee-wee's Big Adventure to People's Choice Network on pay-per-view. After the movie ended,
on pay-per-view, people were paying for Pee-wee's Big
God's
Adventure
work
in
right there,
1986. Yes.
Hell yeah, baby.
After the movie ended, he logged off and decided to make a color bar message. This was the typical color bar that you see when a station stopped for the evening, but he put some words on it, and the message read,
source of my trauma.
Good evening, HBO, from Captain Midnight. $12.95 a month, question mark? No way, exclamation point. Showtime, movie channel, beware. He pointed that back at the dish and into its storage position, and he pointed it at the satellite that carried HBO. He then transmitted that message to all HBO customers for 4.5 minutes, interrupting the Falcon and the Snowman.
How dare he?
It wound up showing to the eastern half of the United States, which is about 14.6 million subscribers to HBO.
Okay, that's such a confusing little manifesto. Like, if I'm watching HBO at this point, I'm happily paying more than $12.95 a month to make sure I can keep following the very inept manifesto guy. I don't think he's sabotaging the station the way he thinks he is.
Well, the owner of that satellite noticed the jamming, and Wikipedia uses this language, quote, Hughes Communications owner of the Galaxy 1 satellite, immediately noticed the jamming and threatened to shut down HBO's satellite signal or alter the satellite's course, with executives believing the hacker was a domestic terrorist, end quote. Then the HBO tech and McDougal had a wattage duel, each pumping up the power of their signal to push the other's signal out. It probably made exactly that sound. After a couple minutes, McDougal relented and packed up his shit and just went home for the night.
He calls the other guy, hey, were you making a noise with your mouth, Jim? You were? Okay, good.
I love the idea of like some tech right there, Ian, trying to explain to Mr. Hughes why they can't just steer the satellite a little to the left.
Why doesn't it work? What do you mean reset it? So
why did
anyway,
he have to put the message, the manifesto thing into the color bars? Like he thought people would like not understand it outside of the format of the color bars?
this made national news. The network was pissed. And when corporate overlords are mad about something, they do what they always do. They got the government involved. And then the FCC said that the television hacker would be prosecuted. They in turn got the Justice Department involved, and they started narrowing down the satellites that could actually do this. They cut it down from 2,000 to 580 by narrowing down a particular uplink satellites, and then they tracked the font and the other characteristics, cutting that number down to 12.
Hey, they should have done the fucking magazine cutout thing. Jesus, fucking amateur.
Are there certain fonts that are like indigenous to Central Florida or something? I don't understand how that was.
Fonts have they have an accent. You can tell the font's accent.
Interesting.
Then they visited these
From
stations.
Captain Midnight.
Then they visited these stations to investigate and finally got a tip that it was McDougal. He was bragging about jamming the signal at a payphone in a rest area near Gainesville, and someone wrote his license plate down.
Hey, that's a weird phone call to make in your life that you like stopped to make at a payphone.
Sorry. Cheryl, I just can't wait to get home to tell you this. Guess
Yeah,
what
right,
I did,
yes.
hon? Oh, I've endangered our livelihoods.
You at the rest area in Gainesville again? Yeah, you should get out of there.
I'm making hard
No,
eye contact.
just hang up
with
right
a
now. Hang up
really
right now. Hang up right now.
snitchy looking dude.
Is he writing
He
down your
has a
license plate?
notepad. Why does he have a notepad?
It's crazy how much like a notepad he has.
The government brought charges that could fine him $100,000 and have to spend a year in prison. So he pled guilty to illegally operating a satellite uplink transmitter. And then he had to pay $5,000 fine and spend a year on probation.
I feel like his probation officer was just way out of his league with the questions he would have to ask at this point. He doesn't understand any of it. He's just reading this shit. How do you pronounce this
Have
word?
you
Hey,
done any satellites? It's your job? Okay.
Are you checking in from a rest area near Gainesville?
Don't smoke pot.
McDougal was either regarded by the public as a folk hero or a terrorist. The House of Representative Communications Subcommittee decided that Congress should pass a law making hijacking a satellite a felony, and then made sure that things were in place to track what satellites transmitted what signal in the future, so they wouldn't have to do so much investigation and only have a anonymous tip solve the case. Wiki notes that the takeover and the press did not motivate HBO to change their pricing structure.
Huh.
Yeah. To be fair, neither
To this
did
day.
not having a good show since the early seasons of Game of Thrones. But look, I've got some angry emails to answer, so let's take a quick break for some apropos of nothing. Hey there, elder millennials. Tired of today's thirst traps and gooners?
6'7", right?
Miss the good old days when your sexuality was formed by the random discards of a stranger? You bet your ass you do. Introducing the Elder Millennial Porn Subscription Box, Woods Porn.
When you sign up for Woods Porn, we'll deliver an old, rumpled, and God you hope rained on pornographic magazine to a stump in your nearest woods for you to find.
Then you take it home and jerk off to it for the rest of your teen years.
I brought mine to college.
But that's not all. For just $14.99 a month, you'll get access to Scramble Hub, With all the HBO and Skinamax late night hits you remember, exactly as you remember them.
Was that a boob? Who knows? But you can pretend it was.
Woods porn. Because whatever the kids are doing these days is confusing and scary.
Hey, do any of you guys have Riz?
I don't think so. No.
I don't know what that. Can we buy it? What do you?
I don't think so.
I don't think it's
man.
for sale.
Feels important.
Your magazine smells like a mushroom.
Notebooks,
Got them?
pencils.
Yeah, they have like big ones now. It's crazy.
Big pencils?
Yeah, they're supposed to help them write better, I guess. They don't start with the number 2s.
And don't forget your Raycon.
Jesus, what is that thing?
Oh, Cecil, you remember Randy? Randy the raw dog?
Don't wear it out.
Right. Hi. Yeah, you just surprised me, I guess.
Okay, but Randy, why would you need Raycons for back to school?
Oh, I thought you said back to cool. In which case, the Raycon Classic earbuds would be a must.
Well, why is that?
Raycon's Everyday Earbuds Classic are packed with upgrades, active noise cancellation, multi-point connectivity, so I can pair with 2 devices at once, and a super comfortable ergonomic fit that stays put. Plus, they come in a cool mint flavor that'll never cramp your style.
But what about battery life, Randy the raw dog?
They've got up to 32 hours of battery life, quick charge for 90 minutes in just 10, and awareness mode when I'm out walking the dog.
Wait, you own a dog?
Of course I do. Dogs are great.
That's confusing.
But Randy, have you actually tried these things?
I have. Raycon sent us a set to try when they first became a sponsor. Whether it's listening to audiobooks or jamming out to tunes while I work out, Raycons have become my everyday carry. That's why I, Eli Bosnick, personally endorse Raycons.
All right, I'm sold. Where do I sign up?
Click the link in the description box or go to buyraycon.com/citation to get 20% off site-wide today.
All right, Randy. Thanks. I still don't understand why you shaved, though. Why is it?
Because he's raw, Cecil.
Right. Got it.
No, Connie.
Stop it.
And we're back. When we left off, HBO was totally pwned by a hacktivist badass who was mad his illegal thing didn't work anymore. Who's our next lead to skin the noobs, Cecil?
Now, in the other incidents that I found, the investigations didn't yield any suspects.
Oh, shit.
This sword, so yeah. Okay, let's not
The
get
best
crazy.
movie.
Let's not get crazy.
Drip.
Let's not get crazy. This
Got
next
that drip.
one,
That's a new one I learned.
this next one takes place in 1977 in southern England. The transmission occurred at 5:10 p.m. on Saturday, November 26th. Independent Television News was doing an evening report on clashes in Rhodesia, which is now Zimbabwe. There was a buzz that came over the signal, and then the speakers started to talk in a distorted voice for about 6 minutes, and they read this statement in part. I didn't include the whole thing, but part of it. Quote, "This is the voice of Rillan, representative of the Ashtar Galactic Command, speaking to you. For many years, you have seen us as lights in the skies. We speak to you now in peace and wisdom, as we have done to your brothers and sisters all over this, your planet Earth. We come to warn you of the destiny of your race and the world so that you may communicate to your fellow beings the course you must take to avoid this disaster which threatens your world and the beings on our worlds around you. This is in order so that you may share in a great awakening as the planet passes into a new age of Aquarius." End quote.
Okay, I feel like there was an argument in the writer's room with these like genius aliens or whatever being like, okay, how do we start? I'm going to do, oh, hello today. This is Rylant. No, that's stupid saying. I'm saying my name. We have wisdom. I don't know.
Dude, why speaking to you? Obviously, you're speaking to me. It's also it's crazy to me how often the aliens brave the intergalactic void to offer fucking banalities, right?
You. Now, I should pause here to let
Because
you
we put a
know.
lot of work into this, and we're just telling them like vaguely over like the course of a couple minutes something they should just be nice.
Live, laugh, love. Fuck.
Are we still open to if you sprinkle when you tinkle, please be neat?
I
and
like
wipe
that
the
one
s-
better than this.
I
Thank
like
you.
that
I like.
better
Can we go
too.
back to that?
Thank you, Marklar.
I'm Rylan.
What? Jesus.
You're
We all sound
Marklar.
the same.
You didn't
Idiot.
introduce yourself at the beginning. How would you know?
I'm John Travolta from the movie Swordfish. Hey, podcast listener, I'm sorry me and Heath don't talk for the rest of the show. It's just us fucking cracking up in my Swordfish reference.
So I should pause here to let you know that the name Ashtar isn't chosen out of hat for this prank because it sounds spacey. This was the name that channelers used since the 1950s when they channeled space aliens. In fact, this eventually became a spiritualist religion and they predicted the apocalypse. So maybe someone puts on their citation needed watch list this Ashtar thing. Anyway, I'm just continuing with the quote here. Quote, "The new age can be a time of great peace and evolution for your race, but only if your rulers are made aware of the evil forces that can overshadow their judgments. Be still now and listen, or your chance may not come again."
Guys, did we just get 1, 2, 3 eyes on mead by aliens? I feel like we
You did. You
I
got
think so.
told
Yeah.
to sit down and be quiet. Here's the quote. "All your weapons of evil must be removed. The time for conflict is now past, and the race of which you are part of may proceed to the higher stages of its evolution if you show yourselves worthy to this." That's really awkwardly worded. Continuing the quote, "You have but a short time to learn to live together in peace and goodwill."
They're pretty sure what we were missing for world peace was a time limit,
Yeah.
everybody, and then
Just
we'd be
had
right, locked the
I know,
fuck up.
Bell.
Wait, so how did the fucking perpetrators see this going? Right? So he figured the fucking USSR would be like, well, you know, some alien on British television did seem pretty sincere about giving up our nukes. So,
Right?
what the fuck?
So he goes on for a bit about being good, and then he issues this warning, quote, "Be aware also that there are many false prophets and guides at present operating on your world. They will suck your energy from you, the energy you call money, and put it to evil ends, giving you worthless dross in return."
And they'll charge you $12.99 a month for it, even after you buy the fucking descrambler. Can you believe this shit?
Continuing on, "Your inner divine self will protect you from this. You must learn to be sensitive to the voice within that can tell you what is truth and what is confusion, chaos, and untruth. Learn to listen to the voice of truth which is within you, and you will lead yourselves onto the path of evolution."
Don't be fooled by weird speeches about false prophets. The boomy voice speech givers are probably lying. Trust your gut. This doesn't. This is a real one.
Not
Except for
this,
this one
not-
and this one.
Start toasting your gut now.
That
And
John
now, it
Travolta
starts
movie
now.
was cool.
And
So
now.
good.
Now,
No, it wasn't.
She sucked his dick while he
While
was
he was
hacking.
hacking.
It was that was the best test. Guess who's
He was, how did he
So
type
good.
so
When you get
fast?
your-
He's such a good hacker.
they close with, quote, "We here at Ashtar Galactic Command thank you for your attention. We are now leaving the planes of your existence. May you be blessed by the supreme love and truth of the cosmos." End quote.
Love, Ashtar. Oh, love? Are we saying love? Yeah, should I do a sign off with love? Okay, whatever. Bye. Wisdom, the thing we said. I don't know. Check out that movie.
Okay, look, I'm not saying that wasn't aliens. I'm saying if they were, based on their message, I'd still want us to have ignored them.
For sure.
The most boring ass hippie
I love
fucking aliens. Look, if you want me to listen to that kind of shit, you have to give me drugs first, okay?
So the prankster took control of a transmitter near the main transmitter, sent the signal through their own equipment, and that's how the broadcast was sent. The people investigating it thought because of their own configuration of these transmitters, a relatively low power signal sent in the right way could do the trick. It would require a lot of technical know-how, but it could be done pretty easily. They never caught anyone, and no one ever came forward to claim the hoax.
It was Ashtar, Cecil. He just told us.
Well,
you
it was
just
Vrylon
Yeah,
of
exactly.
Ashtar. Yeah, Jesus. It's
Thank you.
kind of hard to catch them though after they leave this plane of existence,
Right?
right? Like, I mean, look under this Calabiao manifold over here. No, it doesn't make any fucking sense. It's too small. Couldn't look under that.
Immediately after the broadcast, there was a public uproar. People started calling the television station after the signal, worried there was an alien asking us to be nice to each other. The next day, the newspapers announced the signal takeover, and the news organizations around the world spread the story.
Personally, I'd have given it a couple of days to test the sort of Watchmen hypothesis, right? You know, oh, what do you guys think? We all going to be afraid of the giant octopus? No, okay, yeah, it was a scam or a scheme.
I also want to say this is something that some people took at face value too. There was they thought that there was an actual alien that came to broadcast this signal on a small station in southern England during the evening news on a Saturday so that mankind could be nice to each other and gain a higher stage of evolution. One editor of a newspaper in Oregon said, quote, "Nobody seemed to consider that Asteron, they misspelled it, may have been for real, or that he may have made a great deal of sense," end quote.
Hey, I want to be mean to that editor. And
Yes.
like, I realize I won't be doing transcendent evolution or whatever. I see the irony in this, but like, fuck that. That's so stupid.
No, look, I put away my weapons of evil. Now I get to make fun of the motherfucker. That was the whole list, wasn't it?
It was the whole list.
Only imperative I
That
saw.
was it. So this last signal intrusion happened in Chicago, and I actually caught it live on the air.
Ooh, explosions, broadcast hacks, whatever's happening to Tom. What haven't you seen, Cecil?
I don't want to see what's happening to Tom, though. The other
Nobody
ones I
does.
did. Yeah.
Nobody
Yeah.
does.
On November 22nd, 1987, a prankster hijacked two signals in two different local stations about 2 hours apart. The first intrusion happened on WGN during the 9 p.m. news. The Bears had beaten the Lions 30-10, and Dan Roan was giving the recap.
Okay, is it just like a fucking Bears fan to bring up a fucking 38-year-old victory? Okay, the Lions won yesterday as we record.
We haven't had a recent one. No, let me have my 30-10 victory.
Yeah, a Jags fan would never live in the past.
Then, for 30 seconds, the picture was replaced with a loud buzzing sound and terrible room tone. On the screen was a person in a Max Headroom mask. Now, Max Headroom was a computer-generated character that was popular at the time.
Actually, I'm so sorry to 80s nerds to this degree, Cecil. But Max Headroom was a real guy made up to look like a computer-generated guy because CGI was so fucking bad you couldn't actually make a dude with it yet. But yeah.
Point taken. Absolutely true. You're absolutely right. I will yield to your 80s nerd knowledge. The background of this picture was a spinning piece of corrugated metal meant to simulate the very basic line geometrical patterns that the actual character had in their videos. The person in the mask didn't say anything. Just sort of bobbed back and forth for a few seconds, picture cut to black, and then back to the news. And then a stunned reporter said, "Well, if you're wondering what happened, so am I." And then Dan joked that the computer running the news took off and went wild.
Yeah, someone spent way more time on the how than they did on the what.
Sure
Is what we're learning.
Sure did. What do you mean you froze, man?
I was like, what? Have you guys? Spoilers, by the way, for what Cecil's about to tell us.
So about 2 hours later on a different channel, this time it was our PBS affiliate, WTTW. There was another signal intrusion. So this last one I actually saw live on the air. It was a school night, but every Sunday night, my dad let me stay up to watch Doctor Who with him. And Doctor Who ran from, I think it was like 10:30 to midnight.
Whoa.
It was a big deal.
Night?
Yeah, it was a big deal for a middle school kid. Yeah, it was huge. So we're watching Doctor Who, and then the signal fades, and a guy in a Max Headroom mask starts talking in a really distorted voice. It's hard to understand. I'll get to what he says later, because without subtitles, it's actually really tough to make out. Anyway, this guy has like a whole prop comic routine he goes through that ends with him getting his bare ass spanked with a fly swatter. And does it? And then I remember asking my dad, I was like, what the hell was that? And he said, and this is a quote, "I don't think it was fucking Doctor Who," end quote.
The bare ass comes out at the same time. You're both like, "Hey, you're doing a weird prank. Well, I'm not going to make eye contact, but you're doing a weird prank.
Oh,
Dad, Cecil.
I know I kind of blew the first one, but trust me, when I get my butthole tonight on PBS, people are going to fucking love it. It's going to be so funny.
Amazing. So I'm actually going to quote from the wiki here, the actual description, because they actually do a really job. It's pretty concise. So, quote, the mass figure spent the next minute or so making a quick series of brief and seemingly unrelated comments and cultural references interspersed with excited noises and exclamations. He was first heard to make a comment about nerds, and then he called the WGN sportscaster Chuck Swirsky a frickin' liberal, held up a can of Pepsi while referencing the Catch the Wave slogan from a recent ad campaign for Coca-Cola featuring the real Max Headroom,
Bobbing and weaving.
held a middle finger near the camera inside what appeared to be a hollowed out dildo.
Okay, I'm trying to track. The ideology is getting really muddled. Like, I'm
Yes.
not
It's
matching
not
the
going to
political
get any
message
better.
here.
After some random moaning, the mass figure sang the phrase "Your love is fading," hummed part of this theme song from the 1959 animated series Clutch Cargo, and said, "I still
theme song.
see the X," which is a reference to the last episode of that show. He also feigned defecation, complaining of his piles.
Feigned. Commit to the bit, asshole. Come
I
on.
know you're going to show your ass. You might as well shit out of it too, right? He claiming that he made a giant masterpiece for all the greatest world newspaper nerds. Now, WGN, their call letters stand for World's Greatest Newspaper, so they suspect that's a reference to that. And he put on a knitted glove on one hand while commenting that it was dirty, and his brother had the other one.
What is happening?
I don't know. Dude, you need to watch it. It's on Wikipedia. It's crazy. After a crude jump cut, the main figure appeared mostly off screen to the left with his partially exposed buttocks visible from the side, with a female figure wearing a French maid costume, which stirred something inside my young mind, by the way. When they appear to be in a mask appearing from the right edge of the frame, the unworn...
Sorry. At some point, it was like, all right, the one knitted glove thing is going badly. We got to just cut to our awesome ending.
On roll tape on the spanking.
Go to the spanking, cut the spanking cam. So while he's leaning over, the unworn Max Headroom mask is briefly held in view, and then the voice cried out, "Oh no, they're coming for me. I'll make it stop." And then the female in the French maid outfit started spanking Max with a fly swatter. The image faded to static, and the viewers were returned to Doctor Who broadcast after that total interruption of about 90 seconds, end quote.
Okay, Doctor Who needs to make an episode that intersects with this moment in the universe.
Yes.
somehow.
There you go.
I don't want this to sound mean, but sometimes when we do like live shows, we do meet and greets afterwards or during or something, and someone has very clearly planned a bit, but I'm a human being and not the scripted podcast character they expect. This moment
Every
is what
time.
happens 100% of the time.
Every
They're like, "What's up, knuckle fucker? I brought you some shit tits to suck on." And I'm like, "That's my wife." And they're like,
You doing a jump cut here in what are you doing? Okay.
"Spank me with a fly swatter."
He's doing
Spank me
he's
with
doing a
fly
jump cut.
swatter.
He's doing his ass is out. All
I
right.
like the French maid outfit, though. It looks good on you.
And we're back. Did you say and we're back? And then you spanked your own? Okay.
So the first signal...
Swordfish, right? Yeah, no, that was a good movie.
The first signal at WGN was counteracted by engineers on staff within a few seconds. They changed the frequency of the signal and locked out the hacker. The WTTW one, though, happened after the engineers on duty left for the night at the Sears Tower. So there was no one there to stop it, and we all got to see this uninterrupted bit. No one ever claimed responsibility for this hack, even after the statute of limitations had reached 5 years after it happened. People suspect it was a disgruntled WGN employee or a former employee because of the references to WGN. It's also possible that it could have been carried out by the local Chicago hacker community.
And if you had to summarize what you learned in one sentence, Cecil, what would it be?
If you're going to hijack a television signal, maybe write a set list?
That's
I
right.
don't know.
Right? There you go.
Script it and it'll sound like improv. And are you ready
Just
for the quiz?
podcast it out. Dude,
I'm
just
doing
bros
it.
hanging out, spanking, whatever.
Tune it in. Go for it.
All right. First question is the obvious one. Why did the hacker dude just stare at the camera like a fucking idiot the first time around? A, he was a fucking idiot. Came by it naturally.
I think it's A so far.
It's probably
B, he couldn't see the on-air light because he was wearing a mask.
That's
It's
probably,
really hard.
sure.
C, it was the first instance of the "Are we on" moment that starts every live stream.
100%, that's what it was.
Or D, the alternative was whatever the fuck happened the second time around, and he knew that, right? He knew it was either that or silence.
Yeah. I feel like all of them are great, but definitely A. If you watch it, it's fucking A. Come on, man.
It's definitely A.
All right, Cecil. What's the name of our signal hacking heist movie? A. Ocean's 8-Bit. B. Computer Tower Heist. C. The Italian Fob.
Okay, I get that one.
Or D. Now You TV.
Jesus Christ, dude. I mean, 8-Bit makes no sense, and also, like, nobody remembers that movie. Nobody remembers that movie unless they were like the magician consultant.
I'm gonna go with B for how he spelled heist.
8?
Thank you.
Swordfish with a PH.
He spelled heist. He sit.
Yeah. Keith, I want you to know from the minute we started making swordfish jokes, my nose bled with the effort of me trying to come up with a swordfish pun to add on to that.
Swordfish with a PH. Come on. All right. You good? Your nose okay?
Bam!
He popped.
Okay. Cecil, I got one more for you.
All right.
So aside from the very mysterious guy getting spanked with a fly swatter during Doctor Who, what's the best conspiracy program on PBS? A. Degrassi Knoll.
Fantastic.
So amazing. No, it only needs it's A, Degrassi Knoll. Amazing.
I spent a lot of time working with like a porn version of PBS stuff, but it was all very upsetting what I came up with.
I bet it was.
A one-off.
Yeah, you
Degrassi
definitely
Knoll.
don't. Certain worlds should never mix, Heath.
Yeah.
Degrassi Knoll. There you go.
The magic school bussy is part of it.
There it is.
Oh,
They get jizzed on in an episode.
come on now.
They do. That's why Heath wins.
All right. Let's hear from Eli next week.
All right. Well, for Noah, Tom, Cecil, and Heath, I'm Eli Bosnick. Thank you for hanging out with us today. We'll be back next week. And by then, I will be an expert on something else. Between now and then, you can listen to our other podcasts. Sometimes Tom shows up for those
Jesus.
ones. And if you'd like to help keep this show going, you can make a per-episode donation at patreon.com/citationpod or leave us a 5-star review everywhere you can. And if you'd like to get in touch with us, check out past episodes, connect with us on social media, or check the show notes, be sure to check out citationpod.com.